So the big question is QuickBooks Online that looks like this better than QuickBooks Desktop that looks like this? Hi folks, I'm Hector Garcia, CPA and QuickBooks reseller. I have been selling, implementing, and training on both QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online for over a decade. And I get this question via email and via my YouTube comments at least 2 times per day. So I really thought about answering this question in an in-depth way in a video to make sure that I cover all the bases and I'm able to give you a long, thorough answer. Now, prior to 2022, so up to 2021, that was a really easy question to answer because it was bar none, without a shadow of a doubt, QuickBooks Desktop is better or was better than QuickBooks Online. However, in 2022 and beyond, this question gets a little bit more complex because while QuickBooks Desktop in many ways it's better, the pricing of these two things have gotten really, really close together. Starting 2022, QuickBooks Desktop went to subscription only. So if you grab QuickBooks Desktop Premier 5 user, for example, it's going to cost you about $150 a month. And if you go with QuickBooks Online Advanced, which has up to 25 users, but not many with so many users, it goes to $180 a month. So all of a sudden, these two things are pretty comparable. QuickBooks Desktop Pro 3 user, it's about $65 a month. QuickBooks Online Essentials, it's about $50 a month. And QuickBooks Online Plus is about $80 a month. So right now, it's a more apples to apples comparison when it comes to pricing. But beyond pricing, there's a lot of little nuances, a lot of moving parts that require you to sort of think about it and think about your business and your business needs to really understand whether QuickBooks Online is a better choice than QuickBooks Desktop. Now, if you have a startup business and you've never used QuickBooks Desktop before, you're probably going to be super happy going straight to QuickBooks Online. It is the present, it is the future. But if you have an existing business that has been using QuickBooks Desktop for a while, you really want to think about what you're going to be losing by moving to QuickBooks Online and what you're going to be gaining. To be fair, there are some things that you gain and lose in the process. Now, I went into my notebook and I took copious notes. I really wanted to think about this answer. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a thorough answer of QuickBooks Online versus QuickBooks Desktop. So whether you're a brand new user or you're an existing user, you can have a good sort of apples to apples comparison. Now, I'm going to write an article in my website. There's the link right there on the screen. I'll put the link in the description as well, where I'm going to continuously update. So this video will have this article as an add-on, and any new things that change in the process, I will put information in this article. And also, I'm going to add links to other videos that could support the claims I am making in this video. I'm also going to talk about how to purchase QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop. If there are any promotions, special pricing in the article, you're going to have all that stuff updated. So let's jump right to it and let's start with QuickBooks Online. I'm going to start with the pros of moving to QuickBooks Online. Most people, this is what they're doing. They're starting with QuickBooks Online or they're moving from desktop to online. So the first pro or the first thing to point out about QuickBooks Online is that it's 100% cloud-based. It's natively cloud-based, which means you can use on a PC, you can use on a Mac, you can use in a Chromebook, you can use in any computer that has a web browser. It doesn't need to be installed anywhere. It's always on, always available, but you need internet access. The second feature worth talking about is a tablet or a phone app. The desktop editions don't have this. QuickBooks Online has an accompanying tablet app and a smartphone app that you can do a lot of things on. It's not going to be as powerful as being in your computer and using the browser with all the features, but you can do a heck of a lot in your phone, in your tablet, and I think that's one of the main reasons why people like it. They want to do things on the go. Now, because this is 100% cloud-based, integration with other apps like getting data from Shopify, getting data from PayPal, that stuff is 100% easier with QuickBooks Online because a lot of these apps have native QuickBooks Online integration and they don't have native QuickBooks Desktop integration, or you have to pay some third-party integration tool to bring it to QuickBooks Desktop, or there's some additional sort of IT drama to get your server connected to the internet to integrate with these other apps. So generally, integrating with third-party apps is just going to be better in QuickBooks Online. The other big feature about QuickBooks Online is there's no need for backups. Now, that's a kind of a loaded word because the way QuickBooks presents this is QuickBooks Online is always on the cloud. It's always on a secure server. And Intuit QuickBooks is always backing up the servers. So there's no need to back up for the purposes of worrying about losing your data. Although this is one of the cons, really, you cannot make temporal backups. So you can quickly and easily go back to last month or last year if someone were to like screw up your entire accounting per se. Now, there are some apps and some add-ons that allow you to do this, but it doesn't work as well as with QuickBooks Desktop. It's just natively better. But this concept of no need for backups for security purposes, that's going to be a total pro for QuickBooks Online. Now, a lot of accountants and consultants, especially sort of the old school ones, this is one of the things that they don't like about QuickBooks Online, because you really don't have control over your data. You own it, but you don't have control over it. When you're working in a desktop environment, you can back up the data. You can keep it forever. You can have a backup of the data exactly as it was put together. So there's an audit down the road. You got the data. You control the data. With QuickBooks Online, not so much. If you shut down your QuickBooks Online system, if you shut down your company, if you stop paying the monthly fee, you don't have access to your data anymore. You have to sort of export it or extract it to like an Excel-based general ledger. And yes, all the financial data will be there, but it won't be organized and it won't be easy to run reports and sort of compare what it looked like when it was active. So that's kind of more of a point for QuickBooks Desktop. But when you hear no need for backups, that's exactly what it means. Now, the other cool thing about having QuickBooks Online, any cloud-based system really, is there's no need for IT infrastructure. When you have a desktop system, whether it's QuickBooks or any other type of business system, and you have multiple people working at the same time, you need a server, you need workstations, you need a local area network. You might need to open the server to the internet so somebody can connect it from remote if you have any remote workers. So with QuickBooks Online, this is all sort of baked in. There's no need for potentially costly big investments into infrastructure or monthly maintenance fees if you have to pay an IT company to help you with all that. The next one here is there's no single user versus multi-user drama. If you come from the QuickBooks desktop world with multiple users, you know this is sort of a pain in the butt where you have one person working in a particular transaction type and the other user cannot work on the same transaction type when you're working with QuickBooks Desktop, or you're doing certain functions that require for you to be logging as admin or single user, and you got to kick everybody out. This is what I call the single user, multi-user drama. With QuickBooks Online, you don't get any of this. So that's actually definitely a point for QuickBooks Online. The other thing is QuickBooks Online does have some features better than QuickBooks Desktop. Just some. It doesn't outnumber it in any way. But the ones that are there are really, really powerful. For example, online banking is super powerful. Much better in QuickBooks Online versus Desktop. The amount of flexibility, control, customization, and bank rule configuration is much, much powerful in QuickBooks Online. Also with QuickBooks Online, Intuit QuickBooks has metadata. It has millions of users categorizing transactions, and they can see what most people do with a certain transaction type, with a particular vendor, particular expense, and they can suggest categories that are likely to be correct. So there's a lot more automation and automatic suggestion of categorization with downloaded transactions. Also with QuickBooks Desktop, in many cases, you actually have to pay an extra fee, $10, $15 a month, to the bank to be able to automate downloading those transactions. With QuickBooks Online, there's no extra fees to pay. Most banks, most credit cards connect to QuickBooks Online for free, which is pretty amazing, really. The other set of features that are pretty cool in QuickBooks Online is anything that has to do with automation. Specifically, if you're going to automate reports to be automatically emailed to certain people or groups of people, QuickBooks Online can do that super easily. It's pretty seamless, actually. QuickBooks Desktop, there's a lot of sort of moving parts, and there's some chances that it won't work because it needs to be on and active, and somebody needs to be logged in for the emails to be sent out. With QuickBooks Online, it pretty much happens completely behind the scenes. The other automation type of features in QuickBooks Online have to do with recurring transactions, creating recurring transactions, automatic sales receipts that charge a credit card for someone that you might be charging automatically every month. In QuickBooks Online, it is just better. It's more powerful, period. And lastly, it's easier to use. QuickBooks Online has a lot less moving parts, has a lot less buttons you can press. It's just easier to use. There's more QuickBooks Online users than any other accounting system in the world that I know of, at least in this English-speaking world, and much more than QuickBooks Desktop at this point. So you're going to find more videos in YouTube, more tutorials, more people talking about it, and in some cases, more accountants using it as well. So the probabilities of you finding a consultant that can help you or finding the answers to your question or having less issues, QuickBooks Online is just easier and simpler to use. Now, let's move on to QuickBooks Desktop because, yes, QuickBooks Online has all these great features, but QuickBooks Desktop has more features. I think that QuickBooks Online wins in the convenience category, where QuickBooks Desktop wins in the capability category. Let's start with a better feature in QuickBooks Desktop, which is payroll. QuickBooks Desktop Payroll, or it's called Enhanced Payroll, is actually best in class. I've used many payroll systems, and there's no more powerful payroll system in the market. You have total flexibility. You can edit paychecks. You can make after-the-fact paychecks. You can make adjusting payroll entries. You can allocate expenses by customer, by job, by class, fully burdened payroll that includes payroll taxes and other payroll expenses like benefits to the employees and that sort of thing. There really isn't anything better in the market than QuickBooks Desktop Payroll, period. Every QuickBooks consultant that has more than 5 years under their belt will tell you this is the absolute best thing out there. Second to that is generally job costing. So because payroll allows you to do really in-depth job costing, for job costing reports to know how much profitability you have per job, especially when it comes to including the payroll cost, QuickBooks Desktop wins. On top of that, with QuickBooks Desktop, you can add your estimated costs or estimated expenses for a project, for a job, and you can compare how much you spent on a project versus how much you estimated you were going to spend on a project. And the difference between these two gives you your work in progress percentage, which is crucial for construction companies to figure out their work in progress amounts, their percentage of completion amounts. It's just really important to know when you're a project-based business or construction business, what percentage of the way you are done. That way you can project if you're going to lose money or make money on that deal. So payroll and job costing, those two things are sort of close together, but you also for job costing not related to payroll, material subcontractors, QuickBooks Desktop is just going to be better, mostly because of the reports, really. Next, we have inventory. In QuickBooks Desktop Premier, you have the ability to add sales orders. Sales orders allows you to track back orders of your sales. When you don't have a particular piece of inventory in stock, when somebody orders it, you need to know that somebody paid for it, somebody's ordering it, and you need to deliver in the future. QuickBooks Online doesn't have sales orders. That's probably the principal thing that QuickBooks Desktop has over QuickBooks Online is the ability to do that sales order. Also, importing inventory items and editing inventory items in batch, which is something you need to do very often, just quite frankly, when you're dealing with inventory. It's a lot easier, a lot cleaning in QuickBooks Desktop, even in the Pro Edition of QuickBooks Desktop. Now, for manufacturers, you're going to need QuickBooks Desktop Premier, at least, which is going to have something called an assembly and bill of materials. The bill of material allows you to take multiple components, inventory, non-inventory, payroll, whatever you want, and you can add it and you can figure out what is the cost of your final finished good inventory with all these raw material inputs, labor, overhead, and that sort of thing. So for manufacturers, QuickBooks Desktop Premier, at least Premier, Enterprise probably a little bit better, is going to be crucial. QuickBooks Online doesn't do anything really when it comes to manufacturing. The other thing is multiple units of measure. You can have inventory that you receive in units and you sell in boxes of 20 or vice versa. So having the ability to have quickly calculate inventory by the unit of measure that's functional to the purchase transaction or the sale transaction is going to be really, really important. Mostly for manufacturers, but in general, for anyone dealing with inventory management. Next feature is going to be advanced inventory. You have the ability to track either serial numbers or lot numbers, so you can control your inventory a lot better. There's no expiration date tracking on QuickBooks Desktop, unfortunately, but lot numbers could serve as a workaround for expiration dates at the moment. So there's just a lot of flexibility if you can track serial number and lot numbers. The other major advanced inventory feature is multiple site locations. So the ability to know how much inventory you have in location A versus location B, or transfer across locations, it's really, really powerful. So if you have inventory in more than one location and you want to know what you have in each location, that multiple inventory site locations with advanced inventory is key. The next one's going to be barcode scanner support. You can plug in either a USB cabled barcode scanner, a USB Bluetooth barcode scanner, and you can use your barcode scanner to create invoices and select all the products you're going to include in the invoice, or you can use a barcode scanner to receive inventory from a purchase order into an item receipt or into a bill. It also has an Android version in a mobile app in a phone where you can get this sort of phone barcode scanner built-in app, and you can, without being connected to the computer in any way, you can either pick products that are in open sales orders, you can receive products from open purchase orders, and you can do cycle counts from your mobile Android device with the barcode scanner. Extremely powerful. The next advanced inventory feature is going to be having pick, pack, ship workflow. So all your open sales orders show up in a screen. You can send them to picking, then you can send them to packing, then you can send them to shipping. And you can even print shipping labels for UPS, USPS, and FedEx straight from QuickBooks. So you don't have to open another software and enter the address of the customer by hand. You literally do it all from QuickBooks Desktop, which is great. Now, everything with the word advanced inventory, you're going to need Enterprise Platinum, which is the most expensive version of QuickBooks Desktop, and it's a lot more expensive than any of the versions of QuickBooks Online. So when it comes to price-to-price comparison, QuickBooks Desktop at this level, at the advanced inventory level, at the enterprise level, does become more costly than QuickBooks Online. One of the last features that QuickBooks Desktop requires recognition is customizing reports. The reporting module in QuickBooks Desktop is a gazillion times more powerful than QuickBooks Online. It has been for years. The ability to add filters and customize reports the way you want them. QuickBooks Desktop, it's better, period. However, coming soon, QuickBooks Online is currently beta testing something called a Custom Report Builder tool, and it's becoming so powerful that at some point in the near future, QuickBooks Online Advanced might have a better reporting features than QuickBooks Desktop. So 2022, 2023 might still be the year that QuickBooks Desktop still has more powerful reporting features, but QuickBooks Online is getting there. So I'm actually very excited to see QuickBooks Online kind of making some major strides there in custom reports. But for now, QuickBooks Desktop, more powerful for reports, period. And if you go to QuickBooks Enterprise, the highest version of QuickBooks Desktop, there's something called the QBAR, QuickBooks Advanced Reporting Tool, which actually requires an actual reporting programmer to build them for you. It's not really something you can use on your own, but you can build some crazy, incredibly customized reports, and it's really not that expensive to get something like that done. And you can be like an enterprise business that has really custom reports. And lastly, when it comes to QuickBooks Desktop, fully customizable transaction forms. This is the thing that most people like about QuickBooks Desktop better than online, where you can take an invoice, a purchase order, any form that's customer facing, and you can really design the heck out of it and make it look exactly like you want it. QuickBooks Online just doesn't give you that flexibility. QuickBooks Online has very small subset of templates for your forms, and you kind of have to work with what they give you. Now, will they work on that in QuickBooks Online? Maybe, but I'm not sure how long it would take for something like that. All right, let's move on to final recommendations. And this is obviously the part that people want to get to, which is, okay, for my business, which one is better? Now, I want to make sure that you log into the article I talked about earlier, and you're going to see a spreadsheet. There's going to be a link to a spreadsheet right there. And this is a master spreadsheet that I've been building for about 7 years now. And I continue to update this spreadsheet. This is my, what I call the ultimate comparison guide through the QuickBooks ecosystem. And it compares QuickBooks Online, the lowest edition, QuickBooks Online, the highest edition, QuickBooks Desktop, Pro Premier, Accountant, Enterprise, all of them. And you can go feature by feature. There's over 200 features being compared here. So you can see what version of QuickBooks has what. This could be a great companion to this video. Check out the spreadsheet. It's freely available for everyone out there. So here's my recommendation. If you are in inventory, if you're a business that has inventory or manufacturing, you probably want to look at QuickBooks Desktop, Premier, or Enterprise. If you're a construction company that's going to need job costing and sort of detailed payroll job costing, you probably want to look at QuickBooks Premier, Desktop Premier, or Enterprise. If you're a service-based business that doesn't have advanced inventory needs or advanced job costing needs, QuickBooks Online, Essentials, Plus, Advanced works really well. I normally put people into Plus at least because it has a feature set that I like. And Advanced, obviously, if the business can afford paying a little bit more, because QuickBooks Online has QuickBooks Online Advanced has the best custom reports. And to me, custom reports, it's really probably the most important thing about running your business. What's the point of spending hours and hours inputting data if you can't see the report that helps you make that decision quickly and with confidence? So I think custom reports are the most important thing. Reports in general, this is where you might want to look at QuickBooks Online Advanced or Desktop in general to get better reports. If you're going to go with QuickBooks Desktop, I like Premier quite a bit. I like the Accountant Edition quite a bit, which is the same thing as Premier, but it contains all the tools that I use to fix my client files, batch transactions, batch reclassify. There's a lot of really cool things that the Accountant Edition has. And if you can you get your hands on it, typically it's only sold to accountants and through resellers like me. But if you can get access to the Accountant Edition over Premier, I would definitely recommend that. Accountant is just awesome. It's what I use. It's been my weapon of choice for a very long time. And again, if you're going to be using anything with more than 5 users or inventory or job costing needs, or even to customize forms in a very detailed way or custom reports, that's where you might want to start looking at QuickBooks Enterprise. So anyway, make sure you check the links I'll put in the description below. I hope this video was useful for you. Share it with your friends and family, fellow business owners. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, subscribe to the channel, hit like, add some comments. Did I miss something? Was there something not answered? Put it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer that for you. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.